for Wednesday, May the 20th, 2020. One more sleep, and guess what? You are second graders. Tomorrow's our last day of school. I know that you finished the work and it's still being graded and all that good stuff, but officially tomorrow is the last day of school. Tomorrow is our parade, and then we get to say, woo, 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 you're second graders. Isn't that so fantastic? If you haven't had a chance to watch chapel today, I hope you will get to, even if it's later today. All of the teachers and staff at Valley had a chance to share a favorite verse and to just give their last well wishes to you. So I hope you'll get to enjoy seeing everybody. You know what I was thinking when I woke up this morning? I was thinking, doesn't it just seem like such a short time ago that you were coming into our class and you were like maybe a little nervous and meeting new friends and getting to know me and getting to know each other? And then look, it just is already at the end of first grade. I cannot believe how fast it came. It won't be very long and you'll be coming into second grade. But you know what? I'm right next door. So I hope you will stop in, give me hugs and squeezes and high fives and hellos so I can see you and hear how your summer is. I just love you bunches. But you know what I was thinking about when I was thinking about how this time came so fast? I was thinking about some of the cool things we had learned so far. Like, remember way long time ago, at the very beginning of the school year, we learned about clouds. Remember we learned how clouds are formed, and we learned the different types of clouds, the cumulus clouds that look like mashed potatoes, and the stratus clouds, and the cirrus clouds that look like feathers, remember? We learned about you're right, the water cycle. And do you remember that song we learned? And it kind of got stuck in your brain, and you would be singing it over and over again. Remember, it goes, water travels in a cycle, yes it does. Water travels in a cycle, yes it does. It goes up as evaporation, forms clouds as condensation, comes down as precipitation, yes it does. Great job. You still remember, don't you? We also learned about thermometers and how they work as we studied the weather and how to use some of those scientific tools that we use in science, which we're going to get ready to do at the end of this video because it's Science Wednesday. We learned about rainbows and the things you need for rainbows to form. You need sun and water, and they have to be in specific places, remember? We did a lot of study in social studies about, yes, U.S. symbols, American symbols. We talked about where those symbols are located in the United States, like where Mount Rushmore is. Remember where we learned about bald eagles, why it wasn't a turkey, but an eagle that became our national symbol, and how so many of them live in Alaska, remember? We learned a lot about the American flag and how many stars and stripes it has and what those stripes represent. We learned about Ellis Island and the immigrants who came there and what it was used for. We learned about things like needs and wants and what the difference is and how there is a difference between what we need and what we want. Oh, here's something we learned about, I bet you remember. Do you remember our x-ray guy who was on our window hanging up? We learned a lot about bones and how we keep our bones healthy based on what we eat and exercising. Remember we made a craft that looked kind of like this, like an x-ray? We learned about staying healthy and taking good care of our bodies and doing things like brushing our teeth and being active. We learned a lot about cycles. Remember, like the apple life cycle and the pumpkin life cycle. We learned about do you remember our science experiment with our pumpkins to see how many seeds were in it? And we ended up learning about those ridges and how those are where the seeds are located on the inside, and that often the small pumpkin has more seeds. We learned about a lot of really famous people. We talked about Johnny Appleseed, and do you remember what he did? Planted apples as he traveled, and we learned about some of the tall tales that were told about him. We learned about Ruby Bridges. Do you remember that she is a first grader just like you? And did she stand up for what was right? She sure did. And she prayed for those people who were not being nice to her. And she was so brave. And we loved learning about Ruby Bridges. We learned about Martin Luther King Jr. and Christopher Columbus. I won't name everybody we learned about, but I just grabbed some of our books today. Remember we learned about Rosa Parks and the bus? We learned about the missionary Hudson Taylor who went to China. We learned about quite a few presidents, but we spent a lot of time talking about these two presidents. Who are they? Yes, they are super fun to learn about. We just studied all kinds of great things. There's way more that we learned than just that. We just learned and learned. But what I want you to think about is first grade, you learned so much. You already are such better students. You were already good students when you came in. You're so much better already. So as you go into second grade, do your best. Keep working hard. Don't forget, sometimes if things get a little like, I'm not sure, what should I do? Don't forget, you are a problem solver and you can figure out the strategy to figure out those problems, okay? Keep working hard at it. I'm actually going to do story time early today, and the reason I'm going to do that is we are going to go into Science Wednesday after this. We're going to do some science with water bottles today. 3 different ones. And today you're going to come and see me because today is our homework drop-off, our last homework drop-off day. And when you do, I have something for you. And one of those things I have for you is a little thing of Mentos. And you'll see why for one of our science experiments, okay? This is called There's Elephant and Piggy, Who We Love by Mo Willems. Remember, he's the same author who wrote the book with no pictures. So, and also you'll see in here, another book he wrote. The Thank You book. It's an Elephant and Piggy book. There they are. The Thank You book. Piggy is saying, I am one lucky pig. Don't you feel that way too? Are you saying I'm one lucky pig? Maybe you're saying I'm one lucky almost second grader. I have a lot to be thankful for. I had better get thanking. What is Piggy saying he needs to do? What do you think when he says thanking? Let's look at that for just a second. Let's go back to that word. Thanking. What kind of suffix is on that? Yes, a suffix ing. So what does that mean? Happening now. So doesn't he mean I better get thanking right now? Yes. I'm going to thank everyone who is important to me. What does the elephant say, Gerald? Everyone? Everyone. No way. You will forget someone. You will forget someone important. I will thank, what does it say? Everyone. I will be a thank-o-rama. Wow. Off I go. Squirrels. Piggy. Thank you for your great ideas. Aw, shucks. That's what they say when he says thank you to them. Snake. Piggy. Thank you for playing ball with me. Oh, look at what Piggy's doing. Is he giving Snake a hug? Isn't that so nice? The pigeon. You knew who I was talking about. Thank you for never giving up. And I'm sorry you do not get to be in our books. That is what you think, says Pigeon. Is Pigeon getting to be in those books? We've seen him in another Elephant and Piggy book too, haven't we? Thanking is nice, but you will forget someone. I will not. That's what he says. I will not. Mouse, birdies, rhino, hippos, big sister, barky dog, pelican, bears, hippo, worms. Thank you all for being great friends. What do they say? They have an onomatopoeia word right there. They say, aw. It's the sound they're making. See that, Gerald? I am a thanking machine. Piggy, you have forgotten someone important. How does Gerald look? Can you see what do you think he's feeling right there? I think he's feeling a little, he said, Piggy, remember you forgot someone. He said, do not worry, Gerald. My next thanks will be a big one. What do you think Gerald is thinking? Thanks, Whale. You are nice. What is Whale saying? Can you read it? Go ahead. So are you. Oh, dear. Ice cream, Penguin. Thank you for ice cream. It is what I do. Piggy. Dr. Cat, thank you for being a great doctor. You are welcome. Piggy, look at his face. Brian Bat, thank you for drawing with me. That was fun. Oh dear. Oh dear, ready? What is he yelling? Can you tell he's yelling it? How can you tell? All capitals and an exclamation mark. Piggy! I won't yell as loud as I think that says. You are forgetting someone. Someone very important. Oh dear. Really? Oh, now I know who you are talking about. Oh dear. The flies. Thank you for cooking with me. And look, can you see what the flies are saying? I'll put it close. Can you see? Anytime, dude. That's what they're saying. Anytime, dude. Not the flies, Piggy. I cannot think of anyone else. I have forgotten to thank Gerald. Is Piggy using nice words and are Gerald using nice words there? Maybe they need a toothpaste lesson, right? Oops. Oh, can you see what he says really small? I goofed. Do we have to say that when we make mistakes? Oops, I goofed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Elephant Gerald. You are the best friend a pig could ever have. That means a lot to me, Piggy, but I did not think that you forgot me. Did he? He's not telling the truth right there. He did think he forgot them. Who did I forget? Oh, who did I forget to thank? Oh, no. Guess who they forgot to thank? Are you ready? Our reader. You forgot to thank our reader. You are right. Thank you for being our reader. We could not be us without you. You are the best. It's fun to be the reader, isn't it? You did it. Great thanking, Piggy. Thanks to you. Yep, I'm one lucky pig. First grade, before we start our science experiments, I hope today you will remember to say thank you. I hope you'll thank your moms and dads for helping you with school in this strange season. I hope you'll thank people if you go out maybe to a restaurant or someplace like that. I hope you'll thank your grandmas and grandpas. I hope you will thank all of those people around you who play with you and cook with you and all of those things, because it's super important to be thankful. Okay, let's do some science. Hold on and we'll move to my kitchen. Okay, here we are for our very last day of Wednesday science. It's been so much fun, right? I hope this summer you will continue to do science at home. You can find all kinds of science experiments. Remember that cool science book I have, the cat science experiment that Nathaniel gave me? There's great experiments in that. You can also find them on YouTube or read about them. There's a great YouTube channel called Kate the Chemist, and she does all kinds of fun science experiments for kids, and you could go find more there. But today, all three of our science experiments have to do with plastic bottles. Now, the first one, you can actually use a glass bottle, but I wouldn't want you to drop it. So it may be better to use a plastic bottle, and you'll see why. Because what we're going to do in our very first science experiment, science experiment is make a tornado. Isn't that so cool? If you had been able to go to the Science Center, remember we were going to go on a field trip to the Science Center? If we'd been able to do that, they have a floor in the Science Center that's dedicated to weather. Like this whole area you can go, and you can actually stand on this platform and they have pretend weather going on, but you can kind of feel it. And you could be in a tornado. Now, it's not a real tornado, and you wouldn't have to be worried about it at all. It's actually a lot of fun. But tornadoes is because the wind is whipping, same with hurricanes, and because they're doing that, there's something called a vortex that it's creating. So we're going to do that within a bottle. So first you need an empty bottle. Now mine isn't empty because I already filled it up. What you're gonna take is your bottle and you're gonna fill it. You can see I did a black line to show you about how full it is so I could make sure you could see it. I'm gonna fill it about 3/4 of the way. There's our fraction, 3 out of 4, 3/4 of the way full of just water. This came right out of my sink. And then you need some dish soap. You're gonna need about 3 drops of dish soap. Let me just show you on my piece of paper. So you need your bottle about 3/4 of the way full and 3 drops of dish soap. So that's all you need for this experiment to work. Okay, I'm gonna do this really slow because my drops come out really fast. Let's see if I can get 3 drops in there. 1, 2, 3 drops in there. Okay, now that's all I need. I, however, am also going to add a little food coloring. Now I don't have to do that for this experiment to work. It just makes you be able to see the hurricane in the bottle a little bit clearer. Then, if you also happen to have glitter, which of course I happen to have, you could throw some glitter in there also. Again, you don't need the glitter or the food coloring for it to work. So you can do this science experiment with just a little bit of soap and a little bit, my stuff is coming out a little bit slow. Does that ever happen to you when you're using glitter? That's probably good because remember our germ experiment with glitter? What happened? Where did the glitter go? Everywhere, just like those germs, which is why it's so important we wash our hands. Okay, so that's probably why it comes out slow. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna put my lid on really tight. I'm gonna make sure my lid is on really tight, and the reason I wanna do that is because I'm gonna turn it upside down, and I don't want any to spill out of that green water. Okay, you ready? Okay, I'm gonna go like this. You can see it's just going like that. Now, I'm not gonna shake it, but instead I'm gonna turn it in a circle. A circular motion, just like a hurricane does. Can you see it in there? Oh, you can totally see it. Look at that hurricane in my bottle. It's even cooler, of course, if you do it live yourself, but can you see it? I put a little glitter in there so you could see it. Let me try you. I have another green one that doesn't have glitter. Let's see if it makes a difference. If you can see it a little better. There, you can kind of see it. Oh, it's even cooler in person, but you can see that the vortex, which includes tornadoes and hurricanes, and actually wind spouts, which is a tornado that happens over water, you're making it in the bottle. There's your hurricane in a bottle. Just a bottle of water and a couple drops of dish soap. Isn't that super fun? I think you will actually have fun doing it. You know, we made this yesterday, and I have to say people in my house just keep walking by and making the tornado happen. So it's so fun. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start this experiment in my kitchen, and then we're gonna actually end it outside because my last 2 experiments will end outside. This one you could do the whole time in your kitchen. You don't have to do it outside. When I tried it, I did it over my sink, but I think it'll just be fun to do outside. So let me show you what you need. Again, you need a water bottle, okay? This is just a water bottle. We went on a jog earlier today. My sons used this water bottle. Then you're gonna see that you're gonna have to take some scissors, but make sure moms and dads help you with this because you don't wanna cut plastic by yourself, okay? So you can see I already cut it. I just bent it a little like you do. And then you're gonna cut it so that you end up cutting the lid off, okay? Scissors will work just fine. You could use a knife, but scissors work for the plastic. It's not very hard. Then you can use a thin towel, like a really thin towel if you have one. I actually am using a paper towel. It doesn't work as well to do over and over again because the paper towel gets too wet. But since I'm just gonna show you once, it's really great. If you have a really thin towel, that works great also. And then what's gonna happen, you're gonna take that paper towel, you're gonna cover that. See, here's the top of my lid, do you see that? And then I'm gonna take what is this? Can you see what that is, everybody? A rubber band, and I'm gonna secure that on to my bottle, just like that. And now I pulled it to make it tight. So after I put that rubber band on, I pulled the towel or the paper towel to make it tight. Now I'm gonna add something to this. I can again stop right here. I don't have to do anything else for this. In a minute though, I am gonna add a little food coloring to this, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Then I need 2 things. I need 1/4 of a cup. There's my 1/4 of a cup. Can you see it? 1/4 of a cup of soap, dish soap again. Now I actually already poured it into my bowl, okay? So I already took 1/4 cup and I poured it in here, okay? Then, look, I didn't pour the water yet. I'm gonna take this is just a half a cup of water, just right from my tab. Now you can mix it a little bit if you want. You see how mine has a little bit of bubbles in it? Can you see? I don't want to spill it. It has a little bit of bubbles in it. Just mix it a little bit. Okay, now for the fun. Well, what I'm gonna do before we head outside is I'm gonna take my water bottle like this, and I'm gonna take some of my food coloring, and I'm just gonna add it right here. Just a little bit right here, okay? I think I'll make it green, okay? I'm working with green apparently today. Okay, let's take this outside and see what happens. But before I do that, just in case it's simpler for you to take a screenshot of this, let me show you what you need. A small plastic bottle, a rubber band, scissors, a 1/4 cup of dish soap, a half a cup of water, a thin towel, I used a paper towel, and food coloring, okay? We're gonna get to see, I'll just explain right now, we're gonna get to see the state of matter. There's 3 states of matter we'd learn about in 1st grade. Solids, liquid, and gases. And when you breathe out, what are you breathing? Are you breathing a solid out? No, you're breathing a gas out, but we're gonna see what happens when we combine that gas from our lungs with this liquid through that bottle. I'm gonna ask my sons to come help me outside, so let's go check that out. Okay, here's my son Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hello.
He's gonna dip that bottle into the solution, and he's gonna blow really hard as he can. And it's like, okay, don't let it fall. Try again and see if you can make it not fall. Hold on your hand. It makes a snake out of the bubbles. Let's see if you can make it go and go and go. You can see you have to have blow hard. If you need help, ask mom or dad to blow hard for you. So cool. Okay, Dylan's going to come over and show us our very last one. Come on over, Dylan. Thanks, Tyler. Dylan's going to bring over some sodas for us. Will you bring both of them over? Whenever I do this one, your parents know this one. This is an oldie but a goodie. And because I saw you on Wednesday and I got to give you part of this experiment, I decided to go ahead and do it because you probably haven't done this experiment before. Okay, I always use diet when I do this. They fell over, so they're going a little bit. Okay, give it just a second. Wait just a second. Okay, so I always use diet just because you guys know what I think about ants, don't you? So there goes Joey. So what Dylan is going to do is we can see here that I just have 2 liters of diet soda. And then that's because I don't want any sugar for the ants. And then these 2 guys are going to use some of those Mentos candies just like I gave you. Wait. Okay, so what these guys are going to do is they're going to put some Mentos candies in these sodas. Okay, hold on just a second. We'll say on the count of 3. Does that sound good, boys?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. See why you have to do that one outside? Because it's a little bit of a mess. And Joey's like, it's a little bit of a mess. Isn't that so fun? Oh my word, wasn't that so much fun? So I give you those Mentos candies. Obviously, you'd have to get your own soda to do that with if you happen to have one at home or if your parents get one at the store. And if they don't, it's okay. If it's okay with them, you can just eat them and enjoy them because that's kind of fun. The cool thing is that experiment has been around for actually about 20 years, and it's even been on the show Mythbusters. So your parents have probably already seen it, but you maybe haven't had a chance to do it yourself. So I hope you enjoyed all of our fun water bottle experiments, making tornadoes and snake bubbles and making the carbon dioxide come out of the soda faster. Bye, 1st grade. I'll see you tomorrow for our very last video. 1st grade, you thought I was all done with that video. I even said goodbye. And look, it's actually a different day because you can see I'm standing in my kitchen on a different day. However, after I filmed our last science experiments, I happened upon this awesome science experiment and I couldn't not share it with you. So I had to show it to you. And you know the coolest thing? when you come see me on Wednesday to drop off your homework, I'm going to give you the Mentos like I showed you to be able to do the soda bottle experiment. But I'm also going to give you a sweet mom in our class donated them to me because she knew how much I loved this. And so I'm going to give you this. Doesn't this look kind of weird? This is actually an Alka-Seltzer. This is something you kind of take for an upset stomach. Don't eat it or anything. But we're going to do something with this right here. And I'm going to show you how to do this. This is actually a really cool experiment with water and oil. In fact, my boys are going to come help me while I explain. Boys, would you, I forgot to get water. Would you guys get some water, about half a cup with the measuring cups? They're going to do that. So what's going to happen, I already put about a half a cup of oil in 3 different glasses. Now, I did it in 3 because my boys are going to help me so we can do it with different colors because we thought that would be fun. So what we're going to do first, and I'll do this one first, Tyler, you're going to put about half a cup. Now, watch really close what's going to happen. This is just oil. Wait. This is oil like this, like vegetable oil. Okay, watch what's going to first happen when we put about half a cup of water into it. Okay, that's good. Okay, watch what happened. Okay, he's going to do the other ones while I tell you. What happened down here at first grade, isn't this so cool? What happened is, guess what? Well, there's a few bubbles, and that will go away in just a little bit, and it's kind of happening on the other one too. But water is actually heavier. You can hear that, huh? Is actually heavier than oil. So guess what it does? What do you think something heavier does? We might need a little more over here because I actually put, the other ones I put half a cup in. This one, since it was a bigger container, I put 3/4 of a cup in. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. So now inside our glass bottles, or this is actually plastic, I want you to be able to see, I have half a cup of vegetable oil. Now, I ran out, as you can see, I was about out of this, so I actually have olive oil too. You can see that's why it's a little bit different color. It's just a different kind of oil. Now you're gonna take your food coloring. So all I have is about equal parts of water and oil. Now I'm gonna take my food coloring. We're all gonna take different colors. And we're gonna add about 10 to 15 drops. It doesn't have to be exact, but 10 drops. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I got it on the side. 10. What do you notice happens with the food coloring? So what do you think it is compared to the oil? Yes, it's heavier than the oil also. Okay. Now we're going to take these little Alka-Seltzer packets. They look like this. When you open them, and have your moms and dads help you open them, there's 2 tablets inside, okay? So, oops, your tablet broke, but it will still work just fine. Sorry. Oh, I broke these tablets. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so what we're going to do, and then Mr. Ellis, our film crew, is going to come and show you really close. And that's why I gave you 2 so that you could do this experiment twice. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Do we want to do 1 at a time or all 3?
Yeah, let's do them all 3.
Okay, let's do all 3. 1, 2, 3. There's carbon, if I can say it right, carbon dioxide in those Alka-Seltzer tablets, and they're reacting with the water and the oil, and look what they're doing to the food coloring. Now, it's kind of interesting, this, the nicer oil is probably more expensive, and so it maybe is doing it, it's much heavier, I think. So here's what we're learning from that, is the lighter oil is probably better. Okay, look at these ones. Look at what's happening. It's kind of like our own lava lamp. Ooh, look at the blue one, I think is my favorite, you guys. What do you guys think?
It's the blue one.
It's the blue one. We like the blue one the best. So very, very cool. Okay, first grade, you too can make your own lava lamp at home with the heavier water, which is just water, the lighter oil, a little bit of food coloring, and we're gonna get our carbon dioxide from Alka-Seltzer, and we learned from this, a lighter vegetable oil is what works best. Okay, have so much fun with science, you guys. It's awesome. See you later.